Hi there, my name is Graeme Baker and I'm your e-learning advisor for learning and communicating online. I just wanted to quickly show you how to research for assignment 2 because over the weekend I had quite a few inquiries about people having trouble finding credible and reliable sources that were peer reviewed. You can also use sources that are not peer reviewed because you need to analyze two sources for section 3 of assignment 2. One source should be more credible and reliable than the other, so that you have two sources for comparison. So if on the right hand side of the screen you can see my dashboard, and just here there's a really great unit that I just want to draw your attention to. It's called Getting Started with Online Study. Everyone should do it if this is your first time or if you're in first year. And then, of course, here is our unit, Learning and Communicating Online, Teaching Period 3, 2018. To get to the discussions, which is where I want to get to now, the quickest way I think to get there is just by clicking on the groups here in the left menu, and then choosing your group for this unit. The example I'm using is Group 8, but Group 7 and 6 will also have the same look when you go in. And then once you're here, there's another small menu here. Click on Discussions, and these are all of the discussions for this unit. I've pinned the most recently required discussions here at the top, but all of the discussions are also available here below as well. Now the top discussion is Assignment 2, Questions and Answers. So if we click in here, you'll find that there is a link to types of sources, and that's what many of you are wondering about. What types of sources should you be looking for, because you're going to be writing about types of sources. If you click on this link, it'll open up this PDF here, and the title, as you can see, is Types of Sources, and across the top row these are some types of resources that are used in academic research. The types over here on the left are in many ways the most credible and reliable sources that you can use for academic writing, and they become less credible and reliable as we go across the page. And I'm being a bit particular here because newspapers, obviously, and popular magazines are also very good sources for general research, but for academic research, newspapers are usually written by journalists who are writing outside their field of expertise, and popular magazines are often written by journalists as well, but they could be in their area of interest, but they may not be experts, or they may not be written for expert use, which is more to the point. These sources over here on the left, these are written for expert use, and in many cases it's academic research that is the intended use. The internet here on the right hand side, even though you might think it's on the right hand side, means that it's the least credible and least reliable. Actually, it's over here because the variety of sources on the internet is quite varied. You can get excellent resources such as academic journals. You can get very weak sources such as personal blogs where people are just voicing their opinion, or just deliberately writing information like fake news. So let's go down to the bottom of this list of types of sources where you can find a list of academic online databases. And this is, once you've decided what type of source you're looking for, and you should be looking for articles and books, academic articles and books. If you go down here, you can find the Swinburne Library. If you click on Swinburne Library, in my case, it opens up a new browser page here in Chrome. And one of the subjects, or one of the topics that was inquired about was inclusion in early education. So I'm just going to do a quick search on early education inclusion and see what search results we receive. The Swinburne Library is a really good source, and well, it's an excellent source for peer-reviewed sources. And on the left here, you can see that we can refine our results. So I'm just going to refine we've got over 500,000 results here. I'm just going to refine them by choosing peer-reviewed sources only, articles, and book chapters. it's not going to reduce it by a lot because, as you can see, the majority of sources here are peer-reviewed sources within articles and books. If I go down to the bottom here, I click on Apply Filters, and now these results will just be the ones that we're after. They're just peer-reviewed sources. And if it was me, I would just take a quick look through this list and find the ones that, well, this one looks great. It's for inclusive of children with disabilities or additional needs. There are others here that are also equally useful. And any of these, if one of them looks like it might be useful to you, then just click on it. If you click on the title, it then takes you to a location where you can click and get through to the actual article. Now, when I click on this, because it's taking me outside of Swinburne University, it's going to ask me to log in again to prove that I'm a member of the university. It appears to actually, yeah, it's picked up that I was already logged in as a university student, so or university staff member. So the entire article is available to me. I'm just going to quickly go to the end of the article, and just to make sure that it's provided its sources. Yes, there's a reference list here with all the references that have been used in this article. So you know, it's an excellent source, and this might be one source that you might like to use as your most credible source for answering when you've got to describe two different sources. Let's just, someone asked me if you can use YouTube videos. Yes, if you want to use a YouTube video as another example of a source, that's fine. Let's have a quick look in YouTube, and we'll put in the same search parameters: early education inclusion. And yeah, look, there's a lot of sources here. A lot of video sources here on the topic we're interested in. So I would have a quick look through these first three, or one, yeah, look, and even that top one looks fine. Now, this would most videos are very rarely peer-reviewed, and they often don't provide their sources. So this would be your less credible source, even though the information here is probably quite good. If you're comparing an academic journal, such as this one, with that's fully referenced with a YouTube video that's not fully referenced, well then your YouTube video is not as credible and reliable as your academic source. So there's two ways of looking for sources for your topic. I hope that's useful to you. Make sure that you refer to the types of sources PDF, because talking about what type of source is better than what type of source is not as good, will be something that's worth talking about in your assignment to write up. Great. Well, I hope this has been useful to you, and we'll catch up again soon. Bye for now.